LA's number one for hip hop. Buenos dias and good morning to
Good
you.
morning.
We were hit with the news yesterday that the legendary Fernando Valenzuela passed away. And he was 63 years old. And, you know, being kids in this, being LA in this, we know the Dodgers. And I want you to know, whether you know it or not, we love the Dodgers because of what Fernando Valenzuela did in Los Angeles for the LA Dodgers. I would say he is the most impactful Los Angeles Dodger that we have had in Dodgers franchise history.
Yeah.
He's the guy that made sure the Mexican community was seen. He was found in a pueblo in Mexico.
Yep.
He was brought to Los Angeles, and what he did for the Dodgers, going to the World Series with them, Vic, like you mentioned earlier in the show, and
started his career with 9 shutout victories.
Dang.
Which just caused madness, hysteria. Like, is this the greatest pitcher of all time? You know what I'm saying? And he happens to be Mexican. And I was actually listening to Hugo Sanchez, who's also a great professional athlete of Mexican descent, and he was talking about how him, Fernando, and Julio Cesar Chavez were like the big 3.
wow,
At that time?
what a moment
of Mexican athletes. And now he was just super saddened and by the loss of his friend, and just being like, wow, like 3 Titans and one of us is now gone. And I'm sure that makes him reflect on like his own mortality and stuff like that. And to just think that like we have that level of greatness at a time where Fernando was like one of the best pitchers in baseball. Then we had Julio Cesar Chavez as one of the best boxers. You know what I'm saying? Then Hugo Sanchez as well. It's like, this is just like, history that still has carried on in our parents and, everybody ahead of us has always loved and like looked up to. To have role models in your community is super important. And, they were definitely one of them. And Fernando was, right at the top.
We're coming up on his birthday. Actually, Game 6 of the World Series, if it gets there, will be on Fernando Valenzuela's birthday.
Wow.
Which is amazing, right? They were already setting up a mural. And this is a guy that we gave flowers to while he was here.
Yeah.
But there was an artist in Boa Heights, I think it's Never.
Yeah, Never.
He was doing
Already
a
doing
mural for Fernando. And he's like, he posted yesterday, this is the first time someone passes away while I'm making a mural of them, like in the same time.
I think he was doing it for the like the winning team of the 1981 World Series.
Oh my
but he
gosh.
started with Fernando Valenzuela, just happened to start with him. So obviously he's drawing the mural, and then he gets the news, and it's like, whoa. I'm sure he even felt weird about the whole thing.
And when it comes to Fernando, the connection that he gives us, sometimes even within our community, it's so beautiful that I see that generation on generation on generation are connected through different things. One of them is music. One of them is baseball, in my household at least. That's something my abuelito, my dad, me could talk about, and they tell me stories. I may not have been there to see El Toro, but they tell me about him. And his unorthodox way of pitching, like he would close his eyes or look up at the sky,
look up at the sky,
which is crazy because it's just you
Yeah.
talking to God almost
Yeah.
before he pitched.
His whole windup was just iconic. Like the whole throwing up
Yeah.
of the hands, looking up in the sky. I was like, wow, that's a really iconic throw.
Yeah.
That
And
nobody could duplicate. And then it also just shows, like, obviously, like, we're very like faithful people, and it's like he literally looked up to the heavens before he would throw
that's
a
insane.
ball.
I wanna
You know
cry.
what I'm saying?
And it's still to be, I guess, said what the cause and what was really going on. We know he had medical issues, and he had removed himself from his duties, being the Dodger announcer,
color commentator.
And so we know that stuff was going on. So our love to the family, and we were talking about where the name El Toro comes from.
Yeah.
And Ramona, like, you're gonna learn a lot of stuff today, which is cool. And
Yeah.
we're
It
learning
is cool.
together, and we're vibing
Yeah.
together. And it reminds me, okay, like I've had family and friends that have passed away, and when everybody comes together doing the Rosario,
Yeah.
and talking about them,
The good memories.
all
Yeah.
of that. If you feel inclined to do so, please feel free to call us up and talk to us, 818-520-1059. But we're like, I wonder why they called him El Toro. And I was like, well, his pitching style, no, not. And then Ramona's like, no, it's because he was bulky.
shoulders.
Like
Yeah.
he had broad shoulders, and then that makes so much sense. Like a toro, like for at least an athlete or a baseball athlete, his stature wasn't something that was.
That's something that made him stand out a lot, and a lot of people talked about. That's like they couldn't see him, and he looked like one of our tios.
Yeah.
But he was dominating,
Yeah.
right? And so he wasn't the typical built athlete. They even talked about, like, this isn't your typical blonde hair, blue-eyed athlete.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That America was accustomed to seeing. It's like, no, this is a Mexican through and through. He is unapologetically him. He has his haircut. He has, like, just who he is, and he didn't change it. You know, he always remained himself.
Yeah. Okay, and so in remembrance of our guy and legendary former Dodgers pitcher, but always Dodgers great, Fernando Valenzuela, we're gonna do what we do as Latinos, man. We're gonna bring a mariachi in here. You know what's crazy? Les quiero dar gracias a ustedes, Mariachi Juvenil Nochislan. Wow, that name is hard. Porque anoche I was thinking, I'm like, oh, what should we do tomorrow? It's gonna be so sad.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, no, we gotta do a mariachi. We gotta make this a moment for LA. We gotta come together. Y muchas gracias por la que me contestó el text. Because you guys were up late, that we locked this in and they were able to come in. They're in all Dodger blue.
Yeah.
I encourage you to watch this too if you're on Twitch, twitch.tv/brownbagmornings106 or Instagram.
Instagram
Live, Brownbag Mornings 106 on Instagram. We are going to let them take the reins, and please be with us as we honor our guy Fernando Valenzuela with Mariachi Juvenil Nochislan right here as they sing Amor Eterno. Muchas gracias.
contigo para seguir amándonos. Na, 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 amor eterno, eterno.
Oh my gosh, Mariachi Juvenil Nochistlán, muchas gracias. Les voy a pedir otra, porque
Yeah.
ando
I need a shot.
No puedo. We are remembering the life and we are honoring Fernando Valenzuela, who passed away yesterday at the age of 63. I'm gonna tell you right now, you need to see these mariachis. They're wearing Dodger blue.
Yeah.
They look
Yeah.
They're all
amazing.
blued out.
Y ¿quién puede hablar? Who can talk? English or Spanish? English? Pues español. Okay. Te quería preguntar algo porque anoche ustedes pusieron en las redes sociales un foto o fotos de ustedes como we're big and they put we're big Dodger fans, somos fanáticos de los Dodgers.
sí.
So si ustedes tienen algo, llámenos sin saber lo que pasó, antes de lo que pasó con Fernando. Dinos del amor que ustedes tienen por Fernando Valenzuela.
Bueno, nosotros nos gusta mucho el deporte, el béisbol. Nosotros como compañeros seguido, cuando tenemos tiempo, pues, siempre nos la pasamos ocupados el fin de semana, pero entre semana cuando tenemos tiempo, pues por ahí nos juntamos y nos vamos a divertir un ratito por ahí, pero Fernando Valenzuela como un buen mexicano, atleta de Navojoa, Sonora, pues siempre yo recuerdo cuando estaba joven, como él dijo, Hugo, Julio César, pues y yo me tocó mirarlos cuando me acuerdo que las estampitas ahí, a ver, vamos a juntar toda la carta para juntar el de Hugo, el de Toro y Chávez después, pues sí, siempre. Ya después nos tocó venirnos y quedarnos aquí, como estamos aquí en Los Ángeles cercas, pues qué más que
ser Dodgers, de los
Dodgers,
Dodgers, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
They look beautiful. ¿Nos puede tocar otra?
Sí, claro,
¿Nada
la que
más?
gustes.
Pues en el texteo le pregunté a la señora, uno que me pongan mis sentimientos.
Yo te extrañaré.
Sí,
habíamos
por
quedado.
favor.
Okay.
Yo te extrañaré, tenlo por seguro. Fueron tantos bellos y malos momentos que vivimos juntos. Los detalles, las pequeñas cosas, lo que parecía no importante, son las que más invaden mi mente al recordarte. Ojalá pudiera devolver el tiempo para verte de nuevo, para darte un abrazo y nunca soltarte. Mas comprendo que llegó tu tiempo, que Dios te ha llamado para estar a su lado, así Él lo quiso. Pero yo nunca pensé que doliera tanto. Ya no llores por mí, yo estoy en un lugar lleno de luz, donde existe paz, donde no hay maldad, donde puedo descansar. No llores por mí, es tan bello aquí, con calma iré. Quiero que seas feliz, que te vaya bien, y cuando te toque partir, espero verte aquí. te extrañaré, tenlo por seguro. ¿Cómo pensar que la vida puede terminar en un segundo? La vida es polvo, puede esparcirse en un momento. Nada trajiste, nada te llevarás, solo lo que había dentro. Ojalá pudiera devolver el tiempo para verte de nuevo, para darte un abrazo y nunca soltarte. Mas comprendo que llegó tu tiempo, que Dios te ha llamado para estar a su lado, así Él lo quiso. Pero yo nunca pensé que doliera tanto. Ya no llores por mí, yo estoy en un lugar lleno de luz, donde existe paz, donde no hay maldad, donde puedo descansar. No llores por mí, es tan bello aquí, con calma iré. Quiero que seas feliz, que te vaya bien, y cuando te toque partir, espero verte aquí. Yo te extrañaré.
My answer, I'm kidding.
Everybody in our lives right now, like
Incredible.
ugly crying in the car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally,
My friend
literally.
texted me. He's like, not me crying on my way to work.
Yeah, same thing. I got those texts
Oh
too.
my
Yeah.
gosh, Fernando Valenzuela passed away at 63, legendary Dodger. I can't even go into his story. Bro, Soak City's up next.
Why was I supposed to do that?
You can't do that.
We do have
Yes.
somebody on the line. We have Gustavo Arellano from the LA Times,
Yes.
who took part in a documentary about Fernando Valenzuela. We have him on line 11.
Yeah, we're going to talk to him right now. Muchas gracias otra vez, Mariachi Juvenil Nochistlán. Y van a regresar como en unos 20 minutos.
Hacernos llorar otra
Yeah.
vez.
Have you guys come back so we can
Deme
cry some
tiempo,
more?
deme
Can you bring out the
tiempo,
shots?
tengo que hacer mi trabajo. Okay,
So-
muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Yes
And
to
y-
the shots.
Oh my gosh. Now in the moments, you're not only thinking of like, at least me, I'm thinking of the legacy of LA. I'm
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
fan because of what Fernando Valenzuela did with the
Yeah.
LA Dodgers.
We all have been affected. You know, my uncle is literally named Fernando Franco because
Because
of
of
Fernando
Fernando
Valenzuela.
Valenzuela.
My grandpa,
Dang.
Jesus, being such a big fan of him, and my uncle being born in the midst of Fernando Mania, he's like, that's his name, Fernando.
Yeah.
He's gonna be a baseball player, and this is
Oh
like
my
he planned out his whole
gosh.
life for him. You know?
And you know, just when you look at Fernando and throughout the years, and even when he played, it's like, that's my guy right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's one of us. Look, sometimes when they bring like the representation, it looks like a novellero or something. But this
He
is
was no-
our
he-
guy.
he was no William Levy.
Yeah, you look
Yeah.
like my tío.
But he did
Yeah.
something so great, and
Yeah.
and I see my love in how much I'm rooting for the Dodgers and how much I'm excited for the World Series, and it's like that was put in the hearts of me because I got it from my father, and my father got it from listening to Fernando. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And oh my God! But yes, you're right, bro. But we're gonna go to your homie.
Yeah.
Which one of them was that singer? Which one sang?
The one right
that
now?
one scared. That one I was like,
He
as
was
soon
loud.
as I heard, but as soon as I
The
heard
second
him,
song?
I'm like tears.
Yeah,
I don't know that
I
song.
thought I could put it together. I kept it together for
Yeah.
Amor Eterno because
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I've been through this a long.
Yeah.
Once that song hit,
He sang it very sentimental.
Yeah.
oh
Like,
my
you
God,
felt that.
Yeah, I felt that.
Oh my heart. Okay, we're gonna
Yes.
jump him
Yeah.
after if you guys. If he made you cry, we'll fight him.
Same twin.
But your
yes,
homie.
we have Gustavo Arellano on the line. Gustavo.
What's up, Gustavo?
I just want to say right now, this is totally unfair to follow a mariachi like that. I'm crying.
I know, bro. It was so beautiful.
Yes.
Y nomás le pido the next two songs, Despedida con Mariachi y Cruz de Madera.
Eso. Good,
Okay.
because I was like, what do I ask him for now?
Yes,
I don't know what to do.
You wrote those down, Ramona?
Yeah. Okay.
No,
Okay,
but
perfect.
thank you for having me on. It's such an honor to talk about Fernando and everything that he meant to all of us. Ustedes ya están hablando de everything that, how much he meant a mis tíos, a mis primos, a nosotros, a la comunidad latina, a Dodgers, just everything. What a legacy. And we knew this day was coming because we were seeing him. He was skinny.
Yeah.
People were asking me, like, hey, what's wrong with Fernando? And honestly, out of privacy for him and his family, no podíamos hablar, pero I knew, like, the moment it came out, people were going to be crying. Y aquí estamos.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're here.
And we're here. What's beautiful, and Vic was telling me, because there's so many documentaries and like pieces on Fernando, but it's beautiful to see someone as inspired by him like you, and someone from, again, our community that made a documentary on him. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, so we did the documentary a couple of years ago in 2021 on the 40th anniversary of Fernando Mania. And so we just wanted to do something that would say the entire story, not just El Viene de Sonora, not just he was an amazing pitcher, not just that 1 year, but everything that he meant. I mean, it's an amazing documentary. You had Danny Trejo, you had former Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa, you had the late supervisor Gloria Molina, baseball players, Jaime Jarín, and I had the honor of narrating it in English, and we also did a version in Spanish también. And you can find it online at the LA Times website.
Yeah, and I wanted to know, what's something that you learned throughout that documentary that like totally, I guess, floored you, surprised you, or just that's something that you like carry, to this day? Even though I knew this, just the love that people had for Fernando back then, and I just wrote a column this morning because I've always thought, like, everyone's saying, oh, Fernando should be in the Hall of Fame, and I was always against it just because I'm like, look, he had one amazing season, and he meant a lot, but it's supposed to be for the best players of all time, but what amazed me about
Damn.
Fernando,
That was your article today?
If you go to LA Times, it's right there. But now I do think he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And what convinced me is just because I finally got it. What people love about Fernando, what really made him special, this is what was my takeaway from documentary, the magic. Even if you were not born when Fernando Mania happened, even if you were not born after, in his playing days, you see that photo of him looking up to the sky. You see those YouTube clips. Baseball has this capacity, like every generation, there's that one player that you see them and your life changes. It's magic. Right now it's Shohei. Before it was Ichiro, Jackie Robinson. Fernando was one of those people, and that's really an encounter with the divine. It's literally an encounter with God, and so that's why I think he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's like that X factor, that impact that even maybe some of the best players don't have because they don't have. We're talking about it with like they have a charisma to them,
Yeah.
And I think the representation, the us being able to be there and see ourselves in that type of a player. We see it right now with Shohei and how many people from the Japanese community are now showing up to the games, and
they changed the parking signs. If you drive in now, they have Japanese parking signs so people know where to go when they're visiting.
And you got to think Fern did that for us Mexicans in the Mexican community and the Latino community in Los Angeles. Can you take us to that? Because, we can't talk about the Dodgers without talking about, especially the LA Dodgers, without talking about Chavez Ravine and the clear displacement and horrors that those families had to go through. Yet despite all of that and afterwards all of that, it was him that seemed to be the bridge of a community that once felt like they couldn't step into that venue to that venue is home now.
Well, here's the interesting thing. So, mentioned a lot of stories. So Dodger Stadium, was built on 3 former Mexican-American neighborhoods, La Loma, Palo Verde, and Bishop. And so a lot of people, it was like a community about a couple thousand people, they were displaced. So a lot of Latinos, for the next 15 years after Dodger Stadium was open, they had a lot of resentment. But I do want to push back on that only because I say this. You also have in the 70s and early 80s, hundreds of thousands of Mexican immigrants coming in who did not know about the history. My tíos and my dad, they didn't know about Chavez Ravine. They knew about Davy Lopes. They knew about Steve Garvey. They knew about Ron Tay and all those people. But this is where the magic of Fernando came. Yes, he was that bridge between the people who did know the story about Chavez Ravine, and he also brought in all these fans. But this is the most important thing to remember about Fernando. Baseball had Mexican-American ball players who were all-stars. They had great Latino ball players like Juan Marichal and all that. But never did Latinos have a player who was the best of the best. That was Fernando in 81. He was the best player of anyone, not the best Latino ball player, not the best Dodger. He was a phenomenon. No one has ever been able to reach his heights, and that's what made him so magical. Like, it wasn't, yes, he was important for Latinos in LA for sure. Anywhere he'd go around the country, the stadiums would get packed with because everyone's like, in a country, in a city where Mexicans have always been looked down upon, this guy is the best of the best. And now, guess what? Yeah. Everyone wants to be a Mexican like Fernando. And that was even Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan was like, hey, you know, he had the ambassador of Mexico in 81, and he's like, I want to meet Fernando. So here comes the ambassador. Hey, Fernando, ¿vas conmigo a la Casa Blanca? Pues sí, ¿cómo que no? That's incredible.
Yeah. It is. You know, it's crazy because we're running a promo, and if you hear it, like, there's, is it Vince Scully?
Vince Scully. I want to ask him about that.
Yeah, Vince Scully says, if you have a sombrero, throw it in the air. Yeah. And then I'm like, whoa. But also,
crazy.
In 2024.
Yeah.
But Vic and Greg were like, no, like, that was the time.
Yeah.
Okay. You know?
Yeah. Oh, look, and also, look, it was Vince Scully. Everyone loves Vince Scully. You can say whatever, and people, excuse me, well, we at the Times, we have a photo. This is a funny one. Fernando in the big old sombrero, along with Tommy Lasorda in the big old sombrero.
That's right.
Dave Roberts probably couldn't do that anymore. People saying, oh, come on. But, yeah, that was the time. But that's the thing. People were so joyous. Y también non-Latinos just didn't know how to communicate, like, respect towards Mexicans. So they kind of did some stereotype things. Even the whole idea of Fernando, the marquee would say "ole," you know, "ole" is a Spanish.
Yeah,
like,
it's not our
Spain.
thing. Yeah, I get you.
Era el toro, you know, era el toro, and so people loved them. And even though he did not have the best overall career, people forever loved him. There's so many of us here in Southern California have stories of seeing him somewhere, and you don't even say Fernando, you go Toro, ¿cómo estás, Toro?
Yeah.
Like, and he would be there. He would be there just. You know, knew how much people loved him and understood that. And, like, we're never going to see another one like him again. Shohei comes close, but even Shohei Mania, like, it's not compared to Fernando Mania at all.
One thing I wanted to say, talk about, too, is, like, how gracefully he aged, right, in terms of his baseball career after the fact that he retired, right? Because, you know, he did kind of, you know, his career didn't go, you know, to 300 wins, and, you know, wasn't like an instant first ballot Hall of Famer, but he did rejoin the Dodgers in the press booth, you know, with being a color commentator, and then, you know, his work with Mexican baseball. You know, he's the head coach, right? Like up until, you know, his leave of absence, he was the acting head coach.
Yeah, no, he had a very bitter split with the Dodgers because remember they've released him at the very beginning of the 1991 season. Like this is a year after he pitched his famous no-hitter. Lo dejaron así. So he was very angry at the organization for a long time. He had every right to do so.
Yeah.
So
he even played for the Padres, right?
That's when he played for them in 1991, I believe.
Ew.
Yeah.
You gotta be really mad to do that.
Yeah, and so the Dodgers knew they had to make their peace with him. And Fernando, he was always a pro. And one thing, you know, and so in my column that came out, it's right now on LATimes.com, I faulted the Dodgers for that. They literally used him. They discarded him. They brought him back in 2003, and they basically brandished him like a trophy. Like, look, we were the home of Fernando Mania, but they never asked him to be a baseball coach. They never asked him, hey, we want to lean on your baseball knowledge. You don't think he knows the game of baseball? But the Mexican Baseball League did. The Mexican national team did. That's where he was leaning and training that next generation. So, you know, the Dodgers, God bless the Dodgers as well, but they're not perfect in this. But Fernando was perfect. He was always a sportsman. He was always gracious. And, yes, he aged from the young rookie phenom into basically our tío. That's what he was at the end for all of us. Nuestro tío Fernando.
Yes.
Thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much for calling in.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. And thank you for having Mariachi on LA radio in English. Please.
I know.
Yes.
I know. We're gonna do it again. I need more tears.
Yeah.
I need to let that cry out. You know, once you start crying and look, I try to hold it together.
I was trying to hold it together because we're on Twitch. Thanks, Jose.
Yeah, that's all the cameras
but
on
I
us
can't.
right now.
I'm
I have to
like,
bite
you
my
just
lip.
gotta let it go. You just gotta let it go. We're
Yes.
taking your calls too. If you'd like to share something about Fernando Valenzuela, we lost him at the age of 63, and you know we're talking about this, and it's like we can't let someone like this pass and not give it their own moment too. Like give that person what they mean to Los Angeles. Even if you didn't know, you're gonna learn so many things about the man, the myth, the legend that is Fernando Valenzuela.
Yeah, I want to hear like stories of like, obviously we all have like baseball. I mean, not all of us, we weren't able to watch him like that, but I want to hear stories of like you running into him getting a burrito downtown or something. Like I want to like these, if
those
anybody has
stories.
these like personal stories, you know what I'm saying, that they've ran into him in the city. You know, he was here for 30 plus years in Los Angeles, right? So like I just want to hear stuff like that. If anybody has any of those stories.
We have Tony right now from South Central, and Tony, you were actually at the World Series in 1988, dog.
Oh, what's up? What's brown bag? What's cracking?
What's up, Tony?
What's up?
OG.
You know, it's the infamous Tony Corral calling in again. Love you guys, man.
Okay, Tony.
All right.
So trip out. Yeah, man. It's a trip, bro. Like, I'm glad I'm done shedding a tear right now because you guys made all of Los Angeles cry with the mariachi stuff, man.
Yeah,
that was beautiful. But hold on. Let me catch my breath.
I got you, Tony.
Damn. Well, back in the days, you know, in '88, I went to the World Series with my dad, right? And it was crazy that my dad tried sneaking us down to get better seats. And what was crazy about that was when we went to the game, right? I remember my dad saying, "Hey, we're gonna go down," and I remember there was an escalator. I don't know if the escalator's still there in Dodger Stadium. I think it is, but we're going down or we're going up, either whatever it was. But I remember seeing a Dodger player, right? And my dad's like, "Oh, look, there goes Fernando," and I remember. So I told, "Hey, Fernando, what's up?" And, you know, I won't forget, he had the most thick hair. He had a bunch of hair on his head.
Yeah, he has really thick hair.
and I'll never forget, he pointed at me and my dad, and he said, "If I can do, you can do."
Dang.
Wow.
And I was like, "What'd he say?" And he's like, "If I can do, you can do." And that stuck with me forever. I'll never forget that. He was just saying, if he can do it, I can do it, you know? And that was like, it's always stuck in my head. And now he's up in heaven with my pops, probably playing catch, talking about the game, whatever. But it's such a beautiful thing to hear.
I love
Los
that.
Angeles, respect this man. And regardless what the LA Times guys had to say about this and that, blah, blah, you know, they're a little bit bipolar, those newspaper guys. But
I know. I work with one of them big.
He was like our uncle, you know what I'm saying? Like Fernando Valenzuela was a stamp in Los Angeles. He was like bad. He was like the tío that you wanted to be a part of. He felt like family. When I was watching him on TV, it felt like my uncle was on the mound. You know, and when he told me that, I'll never forget it, guys. It was such a cool moment that he said, "If I can do, you can do it." And he had that such a heavy accent.
Yeah.
And my dad, like, big shout out to my dad, Tony Corral, you know, Huntington Park. Hey, man, guys, you don't even know, like, Fernando was the guy, you know what I mean? And I don't want to ever knock him or talk bad about the Dodgers or worry about the drama that he went through. Who cares about that? What matters now is that we can honor Fernando Valenzuela for putting it down for the raza. And, you know, it's just such a beautiful thing. You know, we had Nipsey, we had Kobe, we had all these athletes that, you know, black and brown love them. But this is one of our people now. You know what I mean? So that's what hits difference. And for you, Lefty, and you guys to bring in those mariachis to honor him, man, you'll never know. Hey, this is a moment in history, guys. You guys did such a good job by bringing those mariachis because you guys had millions of people crying on their way to work.
Thank you, Tony.
You know, and we needed to let that out because that's part of the mourning, you know, for our people. And we have to cry sometimes. Either it's because we're going through personal stuff or it's just because we love them so much. But, hey, big shout out to you guys, man.
Thank you,
you know, and thank you for Thank you for having me. And man, I didn't think I was gonna cry today, but I did. And Lefty, you guys are cool, man.
And you're cool too,
You
Tony.
guys
You're a
keep up
cool
the
guy.
good work.
You're a
Call
cool
anytime.
guy. Shout out Tony. Hey, Tony,
Hey.
rest in peace and my love to you for your father being passed away as well, bro. That doesn't
Ah,
go
man,
past.
hey, you
story,
guys
too.
always show love. You know what's good about your guys' radio show is that I think your boss likes it because they know that you guys touch the people out here in the streets of LA.
Yeah.
It's not just for entertainment. This is like a personal thing. You guys do such a good job because you guys are us. You guys are speaking through the radio, coming from us. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's what LA is about. You know what I mean? And big shout out to you guys.
Love to you, Tony.
Thank
I
you, Tony.
appreciate you, Papa. You have a
Appreciate
good
you.
morning. And we're going to bring the mariachi in again to sing a couple songs
cry some more.
before they leave because they charge me for an hour. And they're not going to charge me for an hour and only play 2 songs, dog.
You're gonna get your money's
how we
worth.
get down.
Get your money's worth right now.
All right. We got, but real quick, we got Jorge, KPWR Los Angeles, Power 106, HD1 Los Angeles, LA's number 1 for hip hop.
Yeah.
My brain is scrambled.
Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna
think
get
we all
ready
are.
for
We all
that.
are. We
Days
all
like
are right
today,
now.
it's like, you know what
Yeah.
station you're listening to.
Yeah, we are representing for the late Fernando Valenzuela, and he made a great point. With someone like Kobe, iconic to Los Angeles,
Yes.
and you have to stop time, and
Yeah.
you have to give him his
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
We are stopping time for Fernando Valenzuela,
Absolutely.
who definitely did what he did as a Dodger, what he represented, the role model. Even when
Yeah.
he's like the thick hair, like my oldest son has that thick Fernando Valenzuela hair. Like I
Yeah.
love that.
I can
Beautiful.
already imagine
Yeah.
it when
Yeah.
he said that. I'm like, oh yeah, like the little
Yes,
puffiness and it's thick.
And
yes.
I think Tony described it perfectly. If I can do it, you can do it. It kind of went without saying, but
Yeah.
the fact that he actually pointed to him
That's
and
the
said
Yeah,
it
Yeah.
that's a
is
moment.
incredible. You know what
Especially
I'm
being
saying?
like at the stadium and you hear that from a professional
the
baseball
World
player.
Series.
Oh man,
That's like iconic right there.
Wow.
absolutely.
Speaking of iconic, let's go to Chepe and Oxnard. Chepe and Oxnard, good morning.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
Just by reading your notes, I'm already jealous of you,
Chepe,
bro.
we're not doing okay, but we're here.
We're not good, but we're here together, Chepe. Talk to us. What do you have to say about Fernando Valenzuela, bro?
Well, aside from being a little bit sad and being happy for all those great moments that brought to us, on the field and off the field, being an example. Back in 2010, I was going to get engaged, and I just had a wild idea, a thought that I wanted to see if it can come through. So I hit up the Dodgers, office and whatnot, and I'm like, hey, I want to rent out a suite, the biggest suite. I want to have all my family there, and I don't know if be part of it. And they're like, in what way? I'm like, well, I'm going to have my people in there, and obviously I'm going to have to talk to them beforehand. I'm going to give them the ring, and I want to pin and surprise everybody by giving me the ring, and then from there I'll propose. So sure enough, we're having a good time. We're there at the suite because it was my wife's birthday. Well, she wasn't my wife then, but it was her birthday. Everybody's there for, quote-unquote, her birthday. And we're having a good time watching the Dodgers beat the Braves and, being loud and whatnot. And I tell everybody, hey, hold on. You guys are being too loud. It's probably security. Well, sure enough, it's Fernando. They lose their mind. My uncles, my aunts, my cousins, they're like ecstatic seeing Fernando, the hero.
Wow.
And they're jumping for joy. And I'm like, hold on. Calming everybody down because it's hard to do that when they see Fernando.
Of course.
Yeah.
He walks into your suite. Yeah.
Yeah, he comes up to me and, Chepe, you forgot something. I'm like, what is that, Fernando? And at this point, my sisters, my sister Marta and Eric are bringing my wife near me, and he gives me the ring, and right then and there, I get on my knee and I propose, and everybody loses it. I mean, Fernando there, I'm proposing. Not everybody knew about it, obviously.
Chepe, who are you that you can call the
And you
who
ran
the
out of the
Dodgers
Dodgers
suite,
really
that
quick.
you get
Hold
the
on,
Dodgers
just-
suite,
Chepe,
that-
we need to know each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Chepe, bring my primo.
Yeah.
Prima.
Are you
No,
the
you know
Oxnard
what?
Connect or what are you? Where you at?
I'm the Oxford Connect. I'm a diehard. I can truly say I'm a really diehard.
Yeah.
And because of Fernando, my family, I'm left-handed. There's a little saying that and my family that my dad tied my hand when I was a baby back so I can be a left-handed like Fernando. Cause
Wow. That's crazy because
Bro.
Mexicans usually do the opposite.
Aside from being a baseball legend, he had that part of that moment of
in
his
your life.
time impact our life in that special way. And, it was back in 2010, so it wasn't like, a lot of social media and nothing like that.
Yeah.
But luckily, one of my aunts, rest in peace, my tia Nena, she recorded it and she put it up on YouTube. And
I have to watch it.
Wow.
You would have gone viral.
Look, it's pretty simple. It's Chepe and Patty engagement.
Chepe, who are you, dog?
I know.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
What's Chepe short for?
Chapo. No, just kidding.
Jose.
Why does Jose? Jose's already a short name. Literally, Chepe is longer than the name Jose. I don't understand.
Make it make sense, please.
Okay,
Chepe.
all right, Chepe. I'm gonna hit you when
Chepe.
I'm in Oxnard, okay?
That's right. Hit me up.
All right,
All
thank you
right.
for calling, bro.
Wow.
That's so
That
tight.
is cool.
That is.
That's an
Imagine
incredible
to be
story.
able to say, like, yeah, I got engaged and
Yeah.
Fernando
Yo,
was there to bring the
that's
ring.
a guaranteed yes. 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Every single time the
All right.
girl was like, hell yeah.
If you look up Chepe's proposal, it's just a guy running on the field proposing to his girl.
Oh, that's another Chepe.
That's
That's,
an-
not our guy,
Chepe.
Chepe. All right, let's go to Jorge and Pacoima. Jorge, I'm afraid to go to you, dog. I'm very afraid to go to you, bro.
You're free? No. Yeah, it's Jorge, man, from Pacoima Hills.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
the number
yeah.
one
you're-
self-proclaimed Dodger
Dodger
hater.
hater from the hills.
So I don't know if we should be answering this call.
Yeah, should we just...
What's up, dog?
No, I will never disrespect Fernando Valenzuela,
That's
ever. That's why, well, my dad growing up, that's why they used to call me Torito when I used to pitch. And I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was. Until later in high school, they're like, oh, that was the nickname for Fernando Valenzuela. I wasn't a lefty, but my dad taught me how to throw a screwball when I was young. And I didn't know the story, but then we going back into our history. We had a lot of photos at Dodger Stadium. We even had a photo when he pitched that was for the Angels. He did pitch for the Angels as well.
Yeah.
We don't talk about Bruno.
Gross.
So yeah, I'm a Dodger hater, but I'll never hate on him. He the love of the game from me and my dad is because of him.
Wow.
Wow.
I love that, Jorge. I
Says
you
a
go.
lot.
It's
Says
Yeah.
a lot for
Thank
a
you.
Dodger
Thank
hater
you,
to not hate
Jorge.
today.
Even here being a Padres fan, like it's
Yeah.
Fernando Valenzuela. Baseball, like if you're a baseball fan, you're gonna have love for that guy no matter what. Even like me growing up playing baseball, being Hispanic, Latino,
Yes.
my parents they're like, "Oh, you should be like this guy. Look how he pitches and stuff like that." I'm like, this guy was awesome in my mind because
I'm
he
sure Eli too.
Yeah.
Like your dad.
yeah.
Talks about that and has that appreciation.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
my mom has his jersey. Like it's just like a very like when I was a kid looking up to him, like oh my god, he's like he looks like my Theo. I could be my
Yeah.
Theo right then and there. Like that could be me one day
Yeah.
as a baseball fan.
All right, you guys, they're back.
The mariachi.
Me van a hacer
mariachi,
llorar
¿verdad?
otra vez. Voy a poner el maquillaje otra vez. Mariachi Juvenil Nochistlán. They were here earlier. ¿Qué voces tan lindas ustedes tienen? ¿Cuál fue el que cantó la...
It was him.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
bro,
bad.
you're
Made her
about to
cry.
get jumped, dog. You're actually not
Cry,
supposed to
homie.
cry. Nos pueden tocar unas dos canciones más antes de que se vayan. And we're going to honor our guy, Fernando Valenzuela. Ramona, did you pick which song? Or?
Yeah. So they're going to do Cruz de Madera, and then we're going to close with El Rey.
Let's go.
Oh wow.
Wow, muchas gracias. Okay. A su tiempo, Mariachi Juvenil Nochistlán.
Una cruz de madera de la más corriente. Eso es lo que pido cuando yo me muera. Yo no quiero lujos ni mesa de adobe. No quiero una caja que valga millones. Lo único que quiero es que canten canciones, que sea una gran fiesta la muerte de un pobre. Yo no quiero llantos, yo no quiero penas, no quiero tristezas, yo no quiero nada. Lo único que quiero es que allá en mi velorio una serenata por la madrugada. Cuando ya mi cuerpo esté junto a la tumba, lo único que pido como despedida, que en las cuatro esquinas de mi sepultura, como agua bendita, que regue el tequila. Yo no quiero llantos, yo no quiero penas, no quiero tristezas, yo no quiero nada. único que quiero es que allá en mi velorio una serenata por la madrugada.
Let's go. Eso. Mariachi Juvenil, Nochistlán. Y antes que se vayan, nos va a cantar El Rey. ¿Dónde pueden encontrarlos? Look at my Spanish. Where can we find you on social media? ¿Qué es el,
Bueno, por ahí estamos en
el
Instagram,
username?
Mariachi Juvenil Nochistlán.
Okay, and I'm just gonna put it on Instagram because that's a very
let's-
hard
yeah,
name
let's
to
just post their business
spell.
card. How about
Sí,
that?
yeah, post a business card. Y ustedes,
Okay.
y ustedes les gustan que como ahorita están en blue, they're in Dodger blue. Their suits are incredible. Les gustan esos eventos, esos tipos de eventos de como de los Dodgers y todo eso, ¿verdad?
Sí, claro que sí.
All right, you guys. Now get ready for el Rey. Muchas gracias a ustedes.
Muchas gracias.
Invitarnos, gracias.
LA, let's show love and represent for our Rey, Fernando Valenzuela, the legend that will never die, right here on Power 106.
Yo sé bien que estoy afuera, pero el día que yo me muera, sé que tendrás que llorar. Llorar y llorar, llorar y llorar. Tú dirás que no me quisiste, pero vas a estar muy triste, y así te vas a quedar. Con dinero y sin dinero, siempre lo que quiero. Mi palabra es la ley. No tengo trono ni reina, ni nadie quien me comprenda. Sigo siendo el rey. Una piedra en mi camino me enseñó que mi destino era rodar y rodar. Rodar y rodar, rodar y rodar. Después me dijo un arriero que no hay que llegar primero, pero hay que saber llegar. Con dinero y sin dinero, siempre lo que quiero. Mi palabra es la ley. No tengo trono ni reina, ni nadie quien me comprenda. Yo sigo siendo el rey.
Let's
Yeah.
Power
Muchas
106. Muchas gracias a ustedes. We're going to stay for photos because they have really cool suits on.
Yeah.
LA, we love you. We're still going to be here, still taking your calls, still representing
Yes.
for Fernando Valenzuela, but I just only paid an hour, so they got to go. But
Everybody in my live is like, yo, one more song, I'll pay for it.
Give it to Pitbull. Give it to Pitbull. Okay, we love you guys so much. Muchas gracias otra vez. And we're going to put the card up
The
on our
business card.
social.
Yes.
They are incredible. I've been in my feelings this whole morning.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes when you're Mexican, nothing can get it out but mariachi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
it unlocks the
Sí,
true sadness.
aunque son hombres, cuando vienen los mariachis, ahí vienen las lágrimas, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
Like no matter what, this gets our feelings out, and I appreciate you guys so much for coming in. We'll be right back. We need a little break. We need
Yeah,
to
we
do
do.
Yes.
And some
Ooh.
shots.
and some shots. Oh, yeah. Keep it here.